with our presentations and case studies. And now we are going to call upon Azmat Jagmag, Marketing Head, South Asia, Warner Brothers Discovery. Advit Sharma, Associate Director, mediasmart. They will be presenting on Family Plus, Fun Plus, Facts by Discovery Plus.
Hi guys, I hope all of you guys are having a great day, and it's pretty delightful to start a session 10 minutes in advance, right? So thank you for that, because usually we're running late, right? So yeah, I'm Azmat Jagmag. I head marketing for Warner Brothers Discovery South Asia, across their D2C and linear products. And I'm really actually happy to be here to present this case study, because it is special in very many ways, and I guess as we walk you through the presentation, you guys will figure why. So can somebody help me move this while we're talking? Okay, there. Thank you. Okay. So yeah, what are we here to talk about? Before this is a very tech-savvy conference, and all of you guys have extremely evolved ahead of the learning curve in most of the tech stuff that we will talk about. But I'll just put a little business context as to why we're discussing what we are today, and why it really is a tremendous case study for us. So before we deep dive into the subject, I'll just walk you guys back a little bit in time. Not too long ago, 2020, a year possibly that none of us is going to forget in a long, long while. The government announced the national lockdown, right? India was shutting, and so was the world. And Team Discovery announced the launch of its OTT service called Discovery Plus. So a pretty uncertain scenario to walk into, because nobody could preempt what was going to happen in the world at that point of time. So uncertain world environment and a very certain business objective, which was this. So, we all as Indians have, grown up on brand discovery. I do not know about you guys, but in my school, I was advised to watch Discovery. It is something that, your parents, your teachers encouraged you to watch. So while TV was a taboo, watching Discovery was, if you're doing that, you get street cred for it, right? So we come from that legacy space, right? Discovery, 30 years of undisputed leadership, a massive street cred value, stature value, and here we are launching a product called Discovery Plus. So of course we had massive pros on our side, which was the huge legacy and the credibility that we carried. But often pros can also be cons, right? Because the world has changed, the viewer has changed, and for an OTT service, you're looking at so much more than just one genre, right? So we're known for intelligent stuff, we're known for action adventure, but Discovery Plus was so much more than that, and that was really the business challenge that we had at hand. How do we pivot a erstwhile niche brand into something that is a must-have for all? With that business objective in mind, there were certain very key brand objectives which were defined, which is to create brand awareness for Discovery Plus. There was massive awareness at any point of time for Discovery, but Discovery Plus was a non-entity at that point of time. At that point of time being the key word. Then, of course, we do not want to limit it at only brand awareness, right? Because as marketers, all of us are looking at, measurable outcomes. Any awareness, even if it's an awareness project, all of us kind of look up to our teams to say, hey, yeah, awareness good, but then what did it translate into, right? So we wanted it to have a very actionable measurement at the end of it. And last not and the least is defining the TG, which was 25 to 50 males and females, to kind of sample our product, right? So obviously amongst a plethora of very many brand choices and agency choices and all of that we had, I must say that it was really nice to partner with Afil and Sokrati with this for this particular project, and I'll hand it over to the expert to do the rest of the talking.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. As Azmat said, it was really special for us, and Discovery Plus, rather this campaign had a lot of pluses for us also, and being from the revenue side, when I say plus, I just don't mean release orders and the monies that we got out of the campaign. It was an interesting journey that we work around. It was a multi-screen journey, an entire integrated campaign that we created, the video case studies that we created around it, and eventually the number of awards also that it won across various forums. Just to let you know, who are we? We are basically mediasmart. We are a part of Afil Group, and we are a brand programmatic platform. Having said that, what do? We basically create integrated user journeys across screens. So we aren't just restricted to one screen. So even for the D Plus campaign that we actually ran, it was basically a CTV household sync campaign that we ran for them. The other propositions that we work around are basically mall attributions, DOH, OSync, omni-channel audience targeting, and further on. And most of our campaigns are integrated in nature, wherein we just don't rely on one kind of screen to leverage the overall campaign for us. And the big topic these days, most of us have been talking about, which was a key part of this particular campaign that we did for Discovery Plus, was connected TV was a core part of it. I've divided the slide into probably 3 parts, basically. First and foremost was the broadcast era. I mean, the exponential growth that we had since 1980s. And it was more of living room viewing at that point of time. You know, the entire family would sit together, watch content together, be one family. And then eventually came the Geo era in 2016. For a lot of you who are much younger, probably I'm 33, but the kids who are around 22, 23, you know what I mean, you would never realize how a ringtone worked for us, you know. You would actually copy the code of a ringtone on my 3310 and then a ringtone would get transferred to me. TT2222, that's how we would hear it. That's the era that we have lived in, to almost from 700 MB a month to almost 10 to 11 GBs right now. And further on, 2000 came in 2020, it was more about viewing the screen. Again, we were brought back into our living room. So in 2016, when it was different phones, people viewing stuff on different phones, now we are back to the living room, watching all the content together as a family. And as it is famously said, matlab roti kapda makan, it wasn't just about roti kapda makan now. In the living room, you're with your family, co-viewing content, and it's roti kapda makan along with internet. And that's how we started the entire campaign. But since I've spoken so much about CTV, is just CTV enough? I mean, it's just a form of video viewing, right? I mean, you're watching it on a connected device. The video plays 20 seconds, and we are done with it. How do we derive an action? That's what something we did differently for this campaign, which was using mediasmart's proprietary household sync technology. So we showed a 40-second non-skippable video ad over here, but video dekha, bada maza aaya. What after that? Was there an action taken? Yes. That's wherein we integrated the household sync technology over there. We showed the ad on a bigger screen, and then within the same households, to the relevant TG, as mentioned, that was 25 to 50, using our own DMP technology over there, we redirected them and remarketed them and showed them a display ad on their mobile devices, which further led them to a target destination. So while it wasn't just a display or a video campaign, I mean, it was a full funnel campaign that we created around the same, wherein there was amplified, high impact storytelling on the bigger screen, further engagement on the mobile devices, and then driving action through those mobile devices. Talking about results, we generated close to 1.05% CTR. There was an excellent VTR of 86% delivered on that, and also App Store rankings that increased during that particular phase. And the most slide that I'm most confident and I like showing the most and try and give the most SOV is basically around the number of awards that we won for this particular campaign. We won close to 6 awards. 4 of them were gold. Those were at various events, including Smarties and Maddies. And there was 1 silver and 1 bronze for the same. This will be followed by an AV, fingers crossed, if it properly plays.
I will just add a little, nugget, before we move on to the AV. I think we did this in the spirit of conviction and in the spirit of experimentation, because if you see the case study is called Family Facts Fun, right? So facts stood for what erstwhile legacy Discovery was. Family and fun was the new elements that we were adding, and hence the positioning to that effect. When we won the first 2 awards, we congratulated each other, exchanged messages and emails, etc. I think it's in the 3rd award wherein we actually sat down and said, okay, what just happened, because this is just kind of, consistently winning. And that's where, we kind of, even the magnitude, because also what you guys should know that this is almost 1.5 to 2 years back, right? CTV is not what it was, say, that's when things are changing, moving so fast. It was really more of an experimentation than anything else, and it just, got us such significant performance and continues to be one of our most successful campaigns to date.
With a lockdown enforced in India for over a year, content viewing was reaching saturation levels with cliched one-dimensional series. Discovery Plus was ready to bring in a fresh perspective. They brought innovation with fresh content and programming, and innovated the way they used media to communicate that. 2020, Discovery Plus launched a curated video streaming service in India for a wholesome family experience. They needed help to scale their reach on brand awareness and engagement with the right set of users. Discovery Plus leveraged mediasmart connected TV and household sync technology. They drove awareness by targeting new age premium audiences who were consuming on-demand content on large screens, and then drove engagement by retargeting those users in the same household on their mobile devices to derive an action. mediasmart's tech was fundamental in identifying and researching those audiences across well-known OTTs and entertainment channels on CTV, and multiple apps on mobile devices. To drive engagement to new levels, these high-intent users were programmatically served video ads over connected TV. After showing ads on TV, mediasmart's household sync technology retargeted users on their mobile devices, nudging them to take an action, transforming non-interactive linear TV advertising into more measurable and interactive connected TV advertising. mediasmart's tech innovation created a multi-layered full-funnel campaign that created both awareness with CTV and induced action over mobile devices. More than 1.3 million plus impressions over connected TV and mobile. The campaign drove phenomenal awareness on connected TVs, thereby driving 86% plus on video completion rates. And equally, impactful engagement, driving 1.05% plus CTR on connected devices via retargeting. During the campaign period, not only did the organic searches on the brand peaked, but also the App Store's ranking on iOS and Android Play Store jumped up by 23% and 33% respectively. Discovery Plus drove phenomenal experience on brand messaging and great adoption via household syncing, making this a super impactful campaign.
So yeah, that's the cue. Thank you so much.
Questions?
Yeah, questions, if any.
So, for an activity like this, is this like a direct competition to traditional media houses like, Group M? Because this seems to be like working on a connected TV module, and then, you really don't need to go into like media channels to do your advertising. So, what are the long-term, consequences? And from a brand perspective, Azmat, where do you see this really picking up? Because is this long-term, or is this like, how does it work out for you in the overall scheme of things? Because I'm sure Discovery as a legacy channel moving on to new things, I'm of the same generation wherein, we grew up on this content. Now, so I'm sure that a lot of it is used to, a lot of you are used to doing traditional modes of marketing. So it's pretty new, right? And there are other channels who can learn from this. So what are the long-term and short-term, things involved?
Sure. You want to?
So basically, I would say rather than more than from a competition's lens, this was a unique proposition done almost in June 2021. So while channels are great, the content consumed there is great. This was all about completing an entire journey for the brand. So while we said video dekh ke maza aata hai, and that's what we do on TV, that's one part of it. B is basically the cord cutters and cord never that we actually get onto this particular screen. And third, we're also retargeting and remarketing these guys within a time span of 24 hours itself. So we are basically completing a full funnel impact over here by showing them an ad and retargeting them again, and then getting them down to a destination which would have been missing in case of a traditional TV campaign.
So sorry, I have one more question.
Sure.
What if somebody wants to skip that ad on his TV?
Most of these ads are non-skippable in nature. So we kind of, for almost all the kind of campaigns that we run, it was 86% kind of VTRs that we were generating around in 21. Right now, the VTRs that we basically generate are in the region of 92 to 93%.
Customer satisfaction. If I want to skip something, I
Sure.
want to skip. Have you taken that into consideration?
No, that's fine. That's fine. This is something that probably we, as an industry, probably can look on.
Yeah,
as an
that's a
attention.
larger question, but I think there is a confidence value in the proposition that you're offering and the creative that you're making, and the irritant value of how many times would you want to show it to the user, right? And I think as a brand manager, and that's often the hat that as brand managers we kind of are not able to successfully toggle between as a viewer and as a brand manager. While as a viewer, it's a huge irritant value to me to see anything that's non-skippable and to keep seeing it again and again. But as a brand manager, I think everybody drives what is the frequency, what is the. So I think that's the right balance that, first is to, without a doubt, that you need to have a creative that's compelling enough to even get these kind of, rates or incremental rates that we have seen. And second is to just have the right filter between, ensuring that you do not reach the borderline irritant value, which again is a difficult matrix to reach, but we have to get there at some point of time. And do you have any more questions? Now, coming to the brand aspect, the question that you raised about. So one is that we did this, like I said, as an experiment a year and a half back. It was, it's an experiment that we love to scale. We scaled immediately and we love to continue scaling, right? There was this, like, he beautifully captured it in a slide. There was this television era, which I think was the epitome of, the entire family sitting in the audience, in the living room together. Then we went to the OTT era, which was more about, I, me, myself. It was more a one-on-one viewing. CTV kind of is bringing back audiences together into the living room. I think that is what is happening. So in terms of, as a technology, would we want to continue to scale that, use that at scale? Yes, we would. And then to have the added benefit of measurable, right? Because even as an advertiser currently, chunk of my advertising monies are on television, right? So if I'm being given an option over a period of time to be able to draw measurable, actionable insights from it, I think it's a huge win for any brand manager or any. Cool. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.